America's most disturbing mysteries. Ever welcome back to Mysteries. Crime Stories, the channel where we dive deep into the darkest crimes and the strangest cases the world has ever seen. Today, we're stepping into the shadowy corners of America's history, places where answers never came, where families never found closure, and where investigators were left chasing ghosts. These are 5 of America's most disturbing unsolved mysteries ever. So, turn down the lights, settle in, and let's begin. Mystery 1. The Vanishing of Maura Murray. February the 9th, 2004. A cold winter night in Haverhill, New Hampshire. A 21-year-old nursing student named Maura Murray had just emailed her professors that she'd be gone for the week, claiming there had been a death in the family. But there was no death. She packed up her dorm room, withdrew money from an ATM, bought alcohol, and drove north, alone, into the White Mountains. At around 7:30 p.m., Maura crashed her car on a rural road. A local bus driver stopped to check on her. She insisted she was fine. By the time police arrived, Maura was gone. No footprints leading away, no sign of struggle, just vanished. Over the years, theories piled up. Some believe she planned her disappearance, running away to start a new life. Others argue she may have been kidnapped by a stranger. Darker theories suggest she met with foul play from someone she trusted. The chilling part. Search dogs traced her scent, but it stopped abruptly in the middle of the road, as if she'd been picked up by a passing car. 2 decades later, her fate remains unknown. For her family, every year is another year without answers, and for America, her case has become one of the Internet's most dissected mysteries, a puzzle that refuses to be solved. Mystery 2. The Yuba County 5, America's Dyatlov Pass, February the 24th, 1978. 5 young men, Ted, Jack, William, Gary, and Jackie, left their homes in Yuba City, California to attend a college basketball game. They never came back. Their abandoned car was found deep in the Plumas National Forest, far from the route they should have taken. The gas tank wasn't empty. The car wasn't broken down. It was as if they had simply chosen to stop and walk into the wilderness. Months later, searchers discovered 4 of the men in haunting conditions. One body was found outside, lying in the snow. 2 others were found nearby, frozen to death. The last was inside a remote cabin, starved despite the cabin being stocked with food. He had lived for weeks, slowly wasting away. The 5th man, Gary Mathias, has never been found. To this day, nobody knows why they drove so far out of their way. Were they chased? Were they confused? Or was there something more sinister in those woods? The bizarre details, men unprepared for snow, the food untouched, Gary's permanent disappearance, earned this case the title, The American Dyatlov Pass. A name that suggests something terrifying and perhaps unnatural drove these men to their fate. Mystery 3. The Boy in the Box, Philadelphia, 1957. A young boy's body is found inside a cardboard box in a wooded area. He was between 3 and 7 years old, malnourished, beaten, and left naked, wrapped in a blanket. He became known as the Boy in the Box. For decades, investigators chased every lead. Thousands of flyers were sent out, his face was reconstructed, and the case haunted generations of detectives. But nobody came forward to claim him. Nobody reported him missing. It was as if he had been erased from the world before anyone even knew his name. Theories ran wild. Was he the victim of an abusive foster home? Was he sold or trafficked? Was he the child of parents desperate to hide a crime? The case remained unsolved for 65 years, until December 2022, when investigators finally identified him through DNA. His name was Joseph Augustus Zarelli. But even with his name restored, the haunting question remains: who killed him and why? Some mysteries are disturbing not just because of the crime, but because of the silence that surrounds them. For Joseph, the silence lasted a lifetime. Mystery 4. The disappearance of D.B. Cooper, November 24, 1971. Thanksgiving Eve. A man boarded a plane in Portland, Oregon. He wore a business suit, carried a briefcase, and called himself Dan Cooper. But as the flight took off, Cooper revealed what was inside his case: a bomb. He demanded $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes. When the plane landed in Seattle, the FBI delivered his demands. Cooper released the passengers but kept the crew. Then, somewhere over Washington State in the middle of a stormy night, he jumped out of the plane. With him, the money and his true identity. Despite one of the largest manhunts in FBI history, D.B. Cooper was never found. Was he killed in the jump? Or did he escape, blending back into society as a legend in hiding? Over the years, small clues surfaced, most famously in 1980, when a boy discovered $5,800 in rotting bills on a riverbank, money linked to Cooper's ransom. But the man himself? A ghost. D.B. Cooper is America's only unsolved case of air piracy. And while many have claimed to be him, the real Cooper remains one of history's greatest escape artists. Mystery 5. The Sodder Children. Vanished in the fire. Christmas Eve, 1945. Fayetteville, West Virginia. The Sodder. Family home went up in flames in the middle of the night. The parents and 4 of the children escaped. But 5 children, Maurice, Martha, Louise, Jenny, and Betty, were trapped inside. Or so it seemed. When the fire was extinguished, no remains were found, no bones, no trace of the 5 missing children. Investigators concluded the fire had cremated them entirely. But experts argued this was impossible. House fires don't burn hot enough to erase every bone. Over the years, strange clues surfaced. A telephone repairman claimed the phone line had been cut, not destroyed by fire. Witnesses reported seeing the children alive, traveling with strangers. The Sodders even received a mysterious photo in the mail years later. A man who looked like one of their missing sons. Were the children kidnapped that night? Was the fire a cover-up? The Sodder parents spent the rest of their lives searching, putting up billboards, following every lead, but they never found the truth. To this day, the fate of the Sodder children remains one of America's most chilling and heartbreaking mysteries. Closing. 5 mysteries. 5 stories where answers never came, or came too late. A young woman disappears on a cold winter night. 5 men lost in the wilderness under impossible circumstances. A child in a box, nameless for decades. A skyjacker who vanished into the storm. And 5 children who may have been stolen from their family on Christmas Eve. Each case leaves behind a trail of grief, speculation, and fear. Each one forces us to ask, how many secrets still lie hidden in America's dark history? And perhaps the most disturbing thought of all, if these mysteries remain unsolved, how many others out there will never be solved at all? This has been Mysteries Crime Stories. If you found yourself gripped by these cases, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment with your theories, and share this video with others who love diving into the unknown. Because the more we talk about these mysteries, the closer we might get to finally uncovering the truth. Until next time, stay safe.